Hey folks, welcome back to the Lone Pine Tarot. For today's pick a card reading, we have a good old message from your spirit guides type reading. I always love doing these readings because, well, basically anything can come out. We can maybe have a message come forward about your career and finances, or maybe something about romance or friendships or spirituality, or your path in general in life. So without further ado, let us pick our piles today for the messages from your spirit guides. Over here for my pile number ones, we have number 24, New Birth Guarded Vigilantly. For my pile number twos in the middle, we have number 28, Collaborative Dreaming. And for pile number 3 is on the right, we have number 38, Restore and Replenish. So just to reiterate, pile 1's New Birth Guarded Vigilantly, pile 2's Collaborative Dreaming, and pile 3's Restore and Replenish. If you're new to the channel, basically my recommendation is always to go with your first gut instinct on which card kind of drew you in right away, or feel free to use your intuition, feel free to meditate on it a little bit, whatever method you prefer. Either way, whenever you are ready for your spirit guide message, drop down to either the description box below or the top pinned comment. Click on the timestamp there, and I will see you in our discussion about a special message from your spirit guides. Bye. Hello there, my beautiful pile number ones. Welcome to your pick a card reading today on the topic of a special message from your spirit guides. As you recall, the deck you used to pick your pile was Sacred Rebels, and the card was New Birth Guarded Vigilantly. So as always with our pile leaders, we'll set this one over here next to the pine cone. Off to the left, I already drew your oracle cards as usual, but we're going to draw the tarot cards on screen as I like to do. So we'll do that right now. Spirit guides of my lovely pile number ones collectively, could you give me around maybe 5 tarot cards explaining more about what it is you want to talk to them about today? Thank you. Oh boy, okay. I think that was 3 cards that came out. We'll talk about those in a second here. We'll get our ducks in a row. Now this one I'm pretty sure was coming out more so upright, so we'll keep that upright. And then we'll put them in this order. So that is 1, 2, 3. Spoiler alert, you already saw some of them. And then we'll pick 2 more. So let's see, 1, for sure, that one's sticking out a lot, and I'm drawn to this one more towards the front, number 5. Okay, my beautiful pile ones, let's reveal your cards. So from your oracle decks today, we have the Citadel Oracle. You received, it looks like, a water card, the Twins, Self-Protection, Dual Nature. So it looks like 2, I believe those are cranes, or it could be herons. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Of course, I always think of Gemini when I think of twins, right? Shout out to my fellow Gemini sons out there, of course. The Twins, Self-Protection and Dual Natures. Interesting. Okay, we'll see where that leads here with all the other cards in tandem. From the Surrender cards, the Power of Surrender deck, I should call it, you received Surrender to Silence in quiet meditation or contemplation. Let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. A lot of green cards so far, and green I always associate with the heart chakra, which is like self-love, compassion, things like that. Okay, and then from your Ask Your Guides Oracle, you received Decisions from Higher Self, number 11. So there's an angel number for you, pile number ones. If you've been seeing a lot of 11 or 1111s lately, maybe that's a bit of a sign to you to pay attention to something, or just, hey, we're looking out for you, things like that. Decisions. Interesting. I also think, too, of duality here with 11, because even when you look at the symbol for, say, Gemini, right, it's literally like the 2 pillars, like almost like the Roman numeral 2, which is almost like the, well, at least our numeral for 11, like the 2 pillars. A lot about duality, maybe symmetry a little bit here. Interesting. And decisions. And then let's reveal your tarot cards. So first up, we have the 3 of Pentacles reversed. Okay, maybe some issues regarding teamwork with other people or getting other people on board with something. But before I say for sure, let's reveal everything else. We have the Fool, new beginnings. Yep, okay. You have a bit of a theme coming in here, pile number 1's about a new venture, especially because you have new birth, guarded vigilantly, was your pile leader you chose, right? You also have the Fool, which means beginnings, taking risks. We have someone setting out an adventure with a knapsack and usually it's a dog, but it's a fox this time in this particular depiction. Interesting. Teamwork, new adventure, and then the 3 that already kind of showed themselves. We have the 3 of Wands here. That's about kind of similar energy to the Fool and the new birth guarded vigilantly. It's about taking action on plans we've made for the future. Then we have the Star, hope and faith in something. Yep, we have definitely pretty sure I already know what this is all about. And then we have, yes, the 8 of Swords reversed, freeing ourselves from a mental prison. We have, she's looking at her reflection here, and her reflection is trapped and blindfolded, but she's free, right? Her reflection is trapped, but reversed. It's the energy of freeing ourselves from a mental prison. So pretty dang straightforward, pile number 1's. I don't even really have to be like, figure out and everything put together, because it is just so blunt. And what your spirit guides are talking to you about today is there's something that you've been planning on taking an adventure on, something you've been planning on setting out on. It's almost like the step in a journey where, like, say you were going on a ship and you're at the dock and everything is packed and you're ready to go. However, whatever this particular situation might be for you, everyone's going to be different as a general reading. Whatever the journey is for each of you, there's a little bit of a hesitation here. I think because, well, not only do we have the 3 of Pentacles reversed as the beginning card, right? And that's about a lack of teamwork or a lack of buy-in from other people on things. Sometimes it can just mean like poor coworkers that are not being very cooperative, or just a lack of cooperation in general. But then we also have the 8 of Swords reversed and the Star. Like I said, the Star is about having hope or faith in something, and the 8 of Swords reversed is about freeing ourselves from a mental prison. So definitely I see like mental anxiety around this. You're not so sure that you want to take this new adventure or take this risk or this step. And I think a lot of what's causing these anxieties with these decisions, right? Because even your spirit guide card here, literally you got the card of decisions. What choice do I make? What do I go with? Should I really do this? Things like that. Your anxiety, I think, stems from that same energy of a lack of cooperation from other people. I don't know if perhaps other people, put down your idea, or they're trying to tell you it's not a good idea. Like, oh no, don't do that. That's stupid. Don't do that new business. Don't, move to that new job. Don't leave that job. Whatever it might be for you, pile number 1's, or, it could even be with relationships. Maybe someone is telling you don't date that person or leave that person, or just anything in general, whatever it is for you, pile 1's, that you've been worrying about lately, and there's been some lack of teamwork or collaboration or enthusiasm from other people. This is what this reading is about, okay? And that's what your spirit guides, at least for context, want to talk about. And yeah, I see a lot of exuberance. I see a lot of happiness. I feel like this, whatever this new journey is for you, pile number 1's, I think it's something that, the reason why you're pursuing it is because it makes you very happy. We see that with the Fool. We see that with the 3 of Wands, like new beginnings, making plans for the future. And I think it's something that you're very new to, too, hence maybe why you were drawn to New Birth Guarded Vigilantly for your pile leader over here on the left. That's a card of, she has this really delicate, almost looks like a Luna moth from the green here. Delicate Luna moth on her shoulder, and she's also got this little sapling here. I'll uncover it a bit here with our limited space, but she has this little sapling in her lap, and she's like guiding this little seedling, and she's nurturing it, and it's like her whole world, especially because most of her is gray except for these 2 green things, right? Both the Luna moth, the delicate thing, and then the sapling, or the seedling, I should say. It's become your whole focus with this, whatever this project is, it feels like. And it brings life to you, especially with that imagery of, I think of, because she's grayscale, it's almost like she's ashen, but this new project has brought her new life herself. It's not just the new birth of the thing that she's creating, it's the new birth of what it's rekindling within herself, right? Pile number 1's. And I think that's why you're so exuberant about whatever this is, because it is bringing new life to yourself. It's something that maybe, makes you get up in the morning with excitement rather than, drudgery, like some of us do at some of our jobs, right? I've had jobs like that before where, you know, you don't really necessarily want to go to that particular job because it's not something that sings to your soul. But it seems like this choice pile number 1, this journey of yours is, yeah, it does sing to your soul. And basically what they're saying here in terms of advice with this situation, what they really want to talk to you about, to give you a tool to walk away from this reading from is, you know, despite the lack of collaboration that started these anxieties, right? In the near future, once you set out and set sail on this journey, whatever it is for you, they're telling you that the key aspect here is to have and keep hope or faith in it, because you got the star here in the near future position. The star is all about, you know, what guides us, right? We think of stars as navigational tools, especially in the days back when, you know, of course, you know, humans didn't always have GPS or Google Maps, of course, right? And so, you know, they would use stars like, say, Polaris, the North Star, to know where circumnavigational north was and figure out how to go from there. Or, you know, many cultures did that, like the Polynesians did, and I'm sure, well, pretty much every culture used stars as navigational tools. Hence why, you know, so many ancient sites seem to be aligned with celestial objects and events, right? Marking the solstice, marking the equinox, like Stonehenge, I think of, right? And so it's almost like this is your guiding light right now in this time, and they're telling you to keep to that pile number 1s. Keep your hope and your faith with the star here. You know, even if other people are naysaying you, they're basically just saying, you know, bundle up a little bit and keep to yourself a little bit. Try to negate those energies because, you know, sometimes people do say things to us for good reasons. You know, maybe they're trying to protect you or they think they know what's best for you. And that's great, especially when they're coming from a place of good intentions. But that doesn't always mean that they're right, pile number 1s, right? And so you're being encouraged here, especially too with the twins, self-protection. That's one of the key words of your Citadel Oracle card here with the herons. Self-protection. Swaddle yourself and protect this new thing from those outside naysaying opinions, and protect your own mental health and your exuberance and your excitement for this thing from those outside opinions that are not collaborative or constructive, you know, things like that. That's what they're telling you is, basically, that kind of almost implies to me that because they're telling you to keep hope or faith in this thing, that you're on a good path, pile number 1. So if you've worried that, you know, you're making a mistake, or you've worried that, you know, oh, this is going to go to crap just because other people told me it would, your spirit guides are basically saying, no, keep going. It's fine. And eventually here with the outcome card, the 8 of Swords reversed, like I said when I pulled that out, that's the card of mentally freeing yourself from anxiety, or mentally freeing yourself from a prison that you didn't have to be in. It's almost like, you know, upright, the 8 of Swords is about self-victimhood, and reversed, it's like freeing yourself from that victimhood. And so you'll realize here with the outcome, you don't have to trap yourself in this mental prison of the opinions of others trying to cast upon you. And, you know, even sometimes people will say things just out of, you know, pure jealousy, or they'll say things out of pessimism, or they'll say things, like I said, sometimes it is for, you know, they think they're doing their best for you. And they're trying to look out for you, but whatever the reason, pile number 1s, it's not constructive in this particular case. And that's what your spirit guides are saying, is just, you know, maybe just keep to yourself a little bit more, or maybe just at least mentally keep a little bit more of a wall between the outside opinions of others on this project that you're working on, and focus on your own thing. Focus on what you think about it, right? Because it's something that makes you happy. I can tell here, pile number 1s, from all these cards, right? Things like that. And yeah, they're saying have hope and faith in your decisions here with higher self. This ask your guides card over here. Protecting yourself, like I said, with the twins card from the Citadel Oracle. And interesting, too, as a piece of advice, you got surrender to silence here, and I'll just read what it says again, because it's been a little bit before, or since I said it. So, surrender to silence. In quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. And so, I think that's kind of a dual message for you, pile number 1s, is to surrender to silence, not just in the way of maybe silencing the outside opinions that are not constructive when it comes to this particular project or goal of yours. Also, it's a little bit of an invitation to really deep down listen to yourself, like it says in quiet meditation or contemplation. listening to yourself more, listening to the stillness within, like it says, and quieting all that mental chatter of doubt and quieting all that mental chatter of self-criticism, things like that. Because they're telling you, hey, have hope and faith in this pile number ones. It's probably going to go pretty well here. Like they said, this is an advice card right here. I mean, I don't think they would tell you to have hope or faith in something if it was going to go crap, right? Or go badly, I should say. Maybe it's a better way of putting that, but yeah, let's see. I think I also want to draw a few extra cards here, pile number ones, on extra advice on, well, let me actually ask two different questions. I want to ask where this is leading in the end, and I also want to ask the extra advice on your path. So let's do that first. Spirit guides collectively for pile number ones. Where is this good thing leading, please? Thank you. 3 cards or so, roughly. Of course, I'll always accept anything that comes out, but yeah, where is this leading? So we have, first up, the Hierophant reversed, breaking traditions. Interesting. Breaking authority, sometimes that's what it means. We have the Empress reversed. Something to do with stimulating creativity, or maybe you're right now currently at a place that's not fertile for creativity or new things. It's interesting, too, because you have New Birth guarded vigilantly as your pile leader, and then you have the Empress reverse, which the Empress is like the feminine energy card. You know, we think of, I'm not saying literal pregnancy necessarily, but we think of being, creation type energy. And then last but not least, we have the 7 of Wands reversed. It's a lot about not having to defend yourself. Interesting. I think part of where this is leading, pile number ones, is not only is it breaking tradition in your life to something new, it's like a new pattern, because the Hierophant is all about tradition, and reversed, it's about breaking it, breaking away from what has been for so long. That's that energy. So number 1, that's part of where it's going for you, this path that they're telling you to keep hope or faith on. Number 2, you have the Empress reversed, and when I see future energy cards like this, I tend to read the reversals as in this is the thing that's going to change. So like I was saying, I feel like wherever this is leading is more fertile ground, hence the creation feminine energy of the Empress. Whereas right now it's more barren, it's more, things aren't so fertile for your ideas, but where you're going, wherever this journey leads, is to somewhere that will change that energy around and make that whatever has been blocking your ideas or blocking your ambitions before, it's going to shift them out of the way, especially, and this kind of ties back into the 3 of Pentacles reversed here, but the 7 of Wands reversed. 7 of Wands is typically about having to defend oneself. In reversed, it's almost like having to let go of defending yourself. So I don't know if this situation is going to, it almost kind of gives me hermit energy, bringing you to some place where there's less outside influence from others. I don't know if it's like going from like employed by a different company to self-employed, or it could be just a place where people make you feel a lot less defensive because they're just, it could just generally be because they're nicer, but that's the feeling I'm getting with that 7 of Wands reverse. It's just some place where you don't feel like you have to have like your hackles raised or like your guard up all the time. So that too will also help you from mental prisons here with that 8 of Swords reversed outcome, is not having to defend yourself from people all the time, especially with that 3 of Pentacles reversed energy at the very beginning we talked about. That's, like I said, the lack of collaboration, people not being good at teamwork. So it's a lot better environment for you, pile number ones, where this is leading. And then, of course, I did say I also wanted to get like 3 last pieces of advice here. So let's do that. I'm actually going to do a shuffle. Okay, so spirit guides from pile number ones. Could you give me 3 cards explaining like last pieces of advice to them in this situation? Thank you. Last pieces of advice. So we have the Page of Cups reversed, exploring our feelings. Something about, it could also sometimes mean not expecting a surprise. That's interesting. We also have the 2 of Swords reversed. Hesitation with decisions, and that's interesting because you also got decisions from your spirit guide oracle over here. And then you have another page. So Page of Swords reversed. Okay, that's about exploring our thoughts more, exploring things more logically. So last pieces of advice here, pile number ones. Okay, I'll first talk about the 2 of Swords reversed because that ties to your decisions card here from your spirit guide oracle. That's about not not hesitating making decisions. So if you're at any point right now hesitating going on this journey, they're saying don't hesitate. That's why there's so much emphasis on like the star about keeping hope or faith in things, but then also the Two of Swords reversed just popped out here as an advice card. Do not doubt your decisions. Do not hesitate. Go now, okay? Or as soon as you're able to, of course, safely and, when you're ready. But don't let your doubts hold you back is kind of what they're saying with that pile number ones. And then, interestingly, you also have 2 pages here. And the pages are the apprentices of their suits, right? They're explorers. They're kind of the new to their suit leaders. They're a bit more about exploratory energy, like just getting accustomed to it. And the Page of Cups reversed is about emotions, and the Page of Swords reversed is about logical thought and the mind and the way that we speak, being the suit of air. And so, excuse me. However, though, sometimes the Page of Cups can also mean a surprise. So reversed, there's something about a surprise you're not expecting is kind of intuitively what I'm being told here. Like there's some part of it that you're not... It's very strange. So look out for something unexpected with this path as well. But in general, too, as a piece of advice card, the Page of Cups reversed is asking you to really explore your emotions more regarding the situation, and I think that will also help spur you into making the decision faster, because you'll know deep down when you, like I said, surrender to silence, maybe even meditation like the card says. When you explore those emotions, it'll help guide you more into making that decision faster, because you'll realize, yes, this is what I really want. Yes, this feels right to me. And it'll help you shut out more of those outside opinions that might not necessarily be very helpful on this journey for you, pile number ones. And then the Page of Swords reversed is, like I said, needing to explore the mind more. Even think about, not just about emotionally, but think about it more logically, pile number ones. Logically answer to yourself, why is this a good decision? And I think you're going to find a lot better answers than you expect. And that will help also serve as a bulwark against that criticism and that self-doubt, because you'll think, okay, well, emotionally this seems right, and logically this seems right, so maybe I should turn that Two of Swords reversed upside down and make that decision, okay? And that's what I'm seeing for you today, pile number ones, as your message from your spirit guides. So just remember, if you take anything away from this reading, is whatever your goal is right now, that maybe you've been having some issues with a lack of collaboration from others, or maybe even criticism, don't lose hope. Make the decision to go forward with it. And your spirit guides are saying that's the right path to take, and that's what they wanted to urgently talk to you about today, okay? So that's what I will leave you with, my lovely pile number ones, as always. I hope that reading was helpful for you. If it resonated, please like, comment, and or subscribe if you have not already. It helps the channel out, which helps me produce more readings for everybody. And I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile number ones. Hello there, my beautiful pile number twos. Welcome to your pick a card reading today on the topic of a special message from your spirit guides. As you recall, the card used to pick your pile today was Collaborative Dreaming, number 28. And as always, when we pick with actual cards or oracle cards, I'm going to set it right over here next to the pine cone. There we go. And first up, as always, I like to draw your tarot cards right off the bat. So let's do that right now, my lovely pile number twos. Spirit guides, collectively, for my lovely pile number twos. Could you give me 5 different cards explaining more about the situation at hand that you want to talk to them about? Thank you. Or around 5 cards. Sometimes 6 come out, sometimes 4. I usually try to get at least 5, though. Go. Okay, number 1, number 2, 3, 4, and I don't know, what do you think, pile number 2? Maybe that one. Here we go. Card 5. And let's reveal your message. First up from your oracle decks, from the Citadel Oracle today, we have, looks like, the Brawler, Lex Talonius, or Tilinus? Lex Tilinus, looks like, must be Latin. This is a water suit card. The Brawler says lack of empathy and confrontation. Okay. Lack of empathy and confrontation. Maybe a little bit of a, not literal fist fight, but something like that lately. From the Power of Surrender cards you received, surrender your desire to control people. Being over-controlling can sabotage relationships. To more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. Okay, there's a bit of a theme coming out here, pile number 2. So it seems maybe there's been some conflict with people lately. Maybe there's been some issues of control, someone trying to control you, maybe you fearing a lack of control over what someone else is doing, things like that, especially with Brawler 2, we think about fighting, like I was saying. And even your pile leader has collaborative dreaming when we think of collaboration as our work with other people. So, bit of a theme coming out. I'll talk about, of course, more cohesively when everything is out, but already I think I already kind of know what this is going to be about. So from your Ask Your Guides Oracle today, you received number 55, Ease, from Runner Guides. Ease. So definitely it feels like maybe there's been a stressful situation lately too regarding what's been going on with the fighting, or some disagreement, right? Because this is a card usually of advice to let go of things. So yeah, let's reveal your tarot cards before I say anything for sure, though. Actually, we're just gonna, shift everything a little bit more to make it more centralized. There we go. Card number 1, I should say. We have the 9 of Cups. Wish fulfillment, emotional satisfaction is the first card. Okay. Number 2, the 2 of Swords reversed. Hesitating before making a decision. Or blinded to choices, it could also mean. We have the 5 of Swords, so literally pile number 2, sorry. This is the central card, right? It's the central card of the tarot cards I just pulled. It's also the card of fighting with other people. So definitely we have a theme here. I'm not saying that, you necessarily instigated anything, pile number 2, but we have a very strong theme here about conflict with others. Definitely not fun times recently, it seems like. And so your spirit guides wanted to reach out and talk about what happened with that. Seems like it must have been a fight, it feels like. So card number 4, we have the Magician, which is gathering all the materials we need. As above, so below. Being able to manifest things. Themes like that. And last but not least, we have the Ace of Cups. Newness in relationships, sometimes new relationships, sometimes new emotions. Finding a pearl, kind of like it says here, or depicts, I should say. Yeah, so pile number 2. You're kind of like pile number 1s today, where the message is very, boom, straightforward. You, I'm pretty sure, had a conflict recently with somebody. Like I said, your central card is the 5 of Swords, which is, we fought, especially 2 being swords, rather than the 5 of Wands, which can sometimes be more like bickering out of passion. The 5 of Swords is more fights out of actual, mental butting heads, because it's the suit of air, which is the mind, right? So, you also have the Brawler, lack of empathy, a confrontation, surrender your desire to control people, and it's about, backing off, regrouping, giving some breathing room. You even have the word collaborative in your pile leader, so pretty straightforward. They want to talk to you about some conflict you've been having with either a person or people recently in your life. That's the context of this reading. And looking at the timeline here of the cards, because sometimes I read the tarot cards almost like a timeline. There was some argument over, especially with the 9 of Cups and the 2 of Swords reversed, like someone not making a decision fast enough, or someone kind of sitting and waiting too long, and it has something to do with emotional satisfaction or fulfillment in something. Maybe it was a relationship. It could be romantic, right? Maybe your idea of happily ever after was different than theirs, or it could have been maybe they did something that made them satisfied but it upset you, or vice versa. Could also be something to do with maybe a relationship at work. Maybe a coworker, hesitated to make a decision, or I almost get the word laziness here intuitively. I don't know if maybe someone was being kind of lazy with something and it just made you really angry, or there was some argument over maybe they thought you were being lazy but you weren't. Something to that effect, pile number twos, especially because sometimes the Nine of Cups is also depicted as like I've seen many depictions of it before, of someone kind of sitting back, and having a drink and having a grand old time. There's not a lot of active energy, so I think that's where maybe intuitively like the term laziness came out, either on their end or there was some argument about one or the other being too lazy about something. And that's also that energy of the Two of Swords reversed, is hesitating, right? Hesitating to make a decision, hesitating to take action. Like, she's holding a bow here, and we think of, yeah, you need some time to draw the string back, but sometimes someone waits too long and they miss their chance before they shoot the arrow. So that's kind of the energy of that particular Two of Swords reversed, and yep, led to a fight with the Five of Swords. That's what they want to talk to you about. So you have some advice here from your spirit guides about how to go forward from this, because obviously I understand fights aren't fun. They understand fights aren't fun. And intuitively I'm being told that they want you to kind of be able to move on and heal from this. They're not really giving me a distinct, you have to make up with this person or these people, right? And that better than anybody, better than, especially myself as a tarot reader, reading generally for a lot of people. If they really did something unforgivable, pile number 2, I'm not saying go back and be like, hey, let's be buddies again, right? But at least they want you, or I should say, at the very least, they want you to be able to move on and heal from this, because I think it's been causing you a lot of pain. It could have even been you were working on a project together, hence the pile leader you chose, which is collaborative dreaming. Maybe that's what that emotional satisfaction was with that Nine of Cups, was we were both looking for, a grand time, and we got in kind of a fight about whatever this was that we were working on together or partaking in together, things like that. So, advice number 1, pile number 2s. Definitely there's a message about letting go or holding back for a little bit. There, especially with surrender your desire to control people, it says back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. I don't think that you're being encouraged right now to go back and talk to whoever this is. I think it's a great time to take a deep breath. It's a great time to back away, regroup like the card says, and let it kind of settle a little bit. Let the dust settle, because it feels like both parties are pretty wounded right now in what's going on. And when people are very wounded, and especially when those wounds are very fresh, that can lead to non-constructive arguments occurring again, just because the pain is still there. And so you're being encouraged just to maybe go a little hermit mode a little bit with this person or these people more. Back off, let everyone take a breath, let everyone, especially here, I think I'm drawn to the brawler, is wrapping their hands. Let everyone bandage themselves a little bit in what's going on here and heal. And so that's your first step, pile number 2, is that your spirit guides are telling you about whatever this disagreement was. Just deep breath, back away. Same thing too with ease. This card is about kind of like letting go. And instead of holding on to, the imagery I'm almost being given is like you're holding on really tight to like a tug of war rope, and so is the other person or people involved. And that card is about like letting go, being at ease, and just not feeling like you have to have control over the outcome so much, especially with, like I said, surrender your desire to control people. It's not, that card doesn't necessarily mean that you're a controlling person, pile number 2s, or that the other person or people are controlling people. I mean, they might be technically, but it's just in this particular situation, I feel like there's a lot of fear around the outcome, and that's why there might be an inclination towards holding on really tight to that tug of war rope, but they're saying with ease, just let go a little bit. Like, it'll be okay if you just let it go. No need to argue right now. No need to bring it up right now. Just let everything settle. Okay, that's very emphasized here. 2, which is interesting. You have the Magician and you have the Ace of Cups as the future cards, right? The Magician is the near future position, and it's all about kind of gathering your materials, gathering everything you need, especially if it's something to the point of maybe a legal battle. They're really emphasizing gathering your materials in terms of maybe proof or evidence of things, if legality is involved, the law or whatever, things like that, or even if it's something as simple and maybe not as serious as, you and a friend or a romantic partner bickered, or a family member bickered a little bit, gathering your materials in that way can manifest in, say, well, number one, healing from whatever was said, or at least to the point where when you see them again, it's not going to immediately, spark an argument. So gathering a little bit of healing energy. We also have, it's interesting, you have butterflies in this card, and butterflies are a symbol of rebirth in tarot. So I almost kind of think about, it's almost like, symbolic of the two of you or whoever all is involved, if it's more than two people, almost becoming anew before meeting each other again. I think a lot of tarot in terms of story writing, because I'm a writer and I'm a reader, and that's kind of what I'm drawn to. So just to use a metaphor, pile number 2 is they're telling me it's almost the point of, in a story when all the heroes get together and they're about to face down the big bad, not that I'm calling them the big bad, but you know what I mean? They're about to face the big bad villain, right? But they have to kind of muster the troops and they have to muster their resources before they have the all out final, well, usually it's a battle in a story. It doesn't necessarily mean a battle in your life. But that's kind of the energy I'm feeling right now if you're connecting with that metaphor. Pile number 2 is of get ready for the next step. You don't have to act right now, and it's probably best that you don't act right now. Gather your resources here with that magician, right? That's what you should focus on in the near future. And then with the Ace of Cups here as the outcome, that's the card of, like I said, new relationships, new emotions. I think even if you don't necessarily enter a new phase of a relationship with this person or these people in terms of, okay, now it's a better new rebirth into an improved relationship because we grew past and we forgave each other, whatever this disagreement was. It could also be, not to worry about losing whoever this was if it really was unforgivable what they did or what you argued about, because there's new energy of relationships and emotions here as the outcome with the Ace of Cups, okay? And even pearls of wisdom, I think, here from especially this particular depiction, this disagreement or fight or whatever it was, as much as it kind of sucks to have gone through, right? It's not fun. But there is something to be learned from this, that little pearl of wisdom here in terms of relationships based on what happened with that Ace of Cups. Now, I do want to ask some extra questions for you because I did that for pile number 1s, and I feel like, especially in this situation, that would be good for you to best prepare you for what's coming up ahead. So let me shuffle my tarot cards here, and then I'll draw some more for you, pile number 2s. Let's see, what question do I want to ask first? What's most pertinent for you? So Spirit guides collectively for pile number 2 is watching this right now. Let's see. If pile number 2 should choose to meet with these people or this person again, what should they be aware of might happen if they do? I feel like that's a good thing to ask for pile number 2s because, I think it's good for them to kind of know what to expect because that'll help you, pile 2s, with that energy of preparing with the magician. What should they expect if they do come across these people or this person that they had a conflict with again? Just a heads up, because I feel like if I was in your position, pile number 2s, that's what I would want to know. What's going to happen if I come across them again? So let's see. Actually, I'm going to pick this one. We have the King of Cups. Okay, mastery of emotions. The way they're expressed externally, especially as the masculine energy card of the Cups. We have the Hanged Man reversed. Needing to look at things from new perspectives. And we have the Two of Pentacles reversed, a lack of balance. Okay, so pile number 2s. Based on these cards, I believe the outcome, if you were to meet with this person or people again, at least with how the path is going right now. So things can change in tarot. It's not always 100% set. But at least the way that things are going right now. If you were to meet with these people or person again, I think at least one person would try to be emotionally mature about it, especially with the King of Cups, because that's his mastery of his element is I'm emotionally mature. I express my emotions very securely in an adult way, right? However, there's conflict here a little bit with the Hanged Man reversed and the Two of Pentacles reversed. That tells me of a lack of balance in terms of our perspectives, okay? So I almost feel like right now, at least, it's leaning towards, at least one or both sides not really agreeing on each other's perspectives on what happened, but I don't necessarily think it would be a giant fight like it was here with that original Five of Swords energy, what caused this in the first place. because you do have the King of Cups here, and that tells me at least maybe it would be handled maturely by both sides, but I don't think there's necessarily going to be an agreement come to with especially the Hangman reversed and the Two of Pentacles reversed. Like I said, needing to look at different perspectives and a lack of balance in this area, even if it is handled maturely. So if you're wondering what the outcome is, if you were to meet them again, that's what spirit guides are saying to you right now. So don't necessarily expect people to agree, but I don't think it's going to be a big explosive fight like maybe it was in the past for you pile twos, okay? So that's this first question. Let's see. Maybe I want to ask now... let's see. Spirit guides of pile number twos. Could you maybe just give extra advice for pile number twos? Like, if you could give them 3 final pieces of advice in terms of tarot cards, what would you give them? Thank you for their highest best good. Oh boy. Okay, well, definitely a few of them wanted to come out really bad, like that one right there. We have the Devil reversed. That's about the things that bind us or hold us back. Okay. And then for context, I'm going to pull this one next to it here. We have the Hierophant. Okay. Tradition. Interesting. And last but not least, we have the Hermit. Okay, you have major arcana cards as every single card. And what they're saying is how they typically read that. My longtime viewers are going to laugh because they know what I'm going to say. When I see a lot of major arcanas in a reading pile number twos, it's because this is related to a major life lesson. You got the Devil, the Hierophant, and the Hermit. Okay, so in terms of final lasting advice for this, pay close attention to things in this relationship that are binding or hold people back. Sometimes the Devil can even be in terms of control. Maybe that's where that surrender desire to control people comes from too. Who is being controlling in this relationship or in this group of people? That's a piece of advice number 1 for you going forward. Pay attention to that. Who is binding and who is someone who is freeing, right? Or people who are freeing versus binding. And then the Hierophant is interesting because that's, like I said, that's all about tradition. Sometimes it can even mean like spiritual authority, because traditionally the Hierophant is seen as like the Pope, as an archetype, I should say, probably is the best word. And then yeah, the Hermit is solitude, right? So I would almost say that's a piece of advice pile number twos. You know, they're telling me something about family with the Hierophant. I think that's how this particular incarnation of Hierophant is presenting itself as tradition, quote unquote, is like your family. There's something about turning to your family for help with something regarding this situation. I don't know if you have a family member that can help talk you through this and give you some advice that maybe your spirit guides know that is good for you. Something like that, but I'm being told family. There's something in your family that you're supposed to turn to, or someone, I should say, that would really help you recognize what's going on and give you really good advice for the future. So that's piece of advice number 2. Piece of advice number 3 with the Hermit is the card of solitude, of going within, staying away from other people. I think that's just another emphasis here to not jump back into the fray yet, or meet with these people or this person, depending on how that applies to you, pile twos. But go within, be silent, do some things on your own. Really think about working on gathering your resources, like the Magician said earlier. Really think about staying away from what's going on. I think that will provide you a lot more clarity as to how to move forward. Okay, so that was your advice. So pay attention to what holds you back or what is holding other people back in the relationship, or what was going on in the argument in terms of the theme of control. Pay attention to something with advice from your family, especially a particular family member. And the Hierophant I generally see as like a masculine energy. So someone of masculine energy, I think, in your family might be someone of help to you that would provide good advice that your spirit guides are leading you to. And then number 3, spend time in solitude. Maybe stay away from groups or from people for a little bit. You know, don't become, a complete hermit. You want some social interaction, of course, but I think right now it's good for you to focus more on yourself and more solo type activities, maybe even just to help you gain more clarity, walking away from other people, other than the family member we just talked about during this situation of conflict, okay? So just to summarize, if there's anything that you walk away from this reading remembering today, pile number 2, is don't jump back into the fray just yet. Know that your spirit guides are acknowledging that this fight occurred or this disagreement occurred, and they're telling you just to be more willing to bend into the energy of letting go more, right? And knowing that, like we said with the outcome, I think that if you were to confront them again or meet with them again, I'm not sure you're going to come to an agreement. There's going to be an imbalance in terms of perspectives, but I don't think there's going to be a fight like there was. So if you do decide to confront them again or meet with them again, just know that things might not work out 100%. We're, best buddies, okay? Like we were before the argument or whatever, but there's at least that emotional maturity with the King of Cups. So I think both parties involved will be at least emotionally mature about it. So I believe that is it for you, pile number 2s. Thank you again for coming to this reading and letting me read your cards, connecting with your spirit guides' energies. I love doing spirit guide readings, especially when we talk about icky things like conflict, because, it helps to, at least for me as a tarot reader, to know that I'm giving a message that might provide some clarity on how to get through hard times like this, right? How to manage hard things like this and try to come to the best outcome. So, of course, your spirit guides want that for you too. So, yes, thank you for coming to this reading. I hope it was helpful for you. If you liked it, if it resonated with you, please like, comment, and or subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. That always helps out the channel, helps me out, provide more readings for everybody. And last but not least, did I already say I wish you a wonderful rest of your day? If not, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next reading, pile number 2s. Bye. Hello there, my beautiful pile number 3s. Welcome to your pick a card reading today on the topic of a special message from your spirit guides. As you recall, the card you used to pick your pile today was number 38, Restore and Replenish. So as always, when we pick with oracle cards, I'm going to set that over here next to the pine cone to the left. Already drew your oracle cards, and as always, I like to draw the tarot cards on screen. So let's do that right now, pile number 3s. Do some shuffling first. So, spirit guides collectively for my wonderful pile number 3s, could you give me around 5 tarot cards for their highest best good, explaining more about what's this message you want to talk to them about? Thank you. What do they need to know? What's the topic today? Thank you. There we go. Nothing flew out, so we'll pick each one. Number 1, number 2. That one wanted to come out with it, so we'll take it. Number 3, number 4, and right there, number 5. Alright, let's go. Revealing your cards from the Oracle decks today. From the Citadel Oracle, you received, very beautiful card. The element of fire, the sleeper, cause and effect and clarity. Interesting. Cause and effect and clarity. And it's interesting because we have a closed eye here, and also your restore and replenish figure looks almost like she's sleeping, or at least she's resting, right? So we have a theme of rest, we have a theme of closed eyes and sleeping. Interesting. From the Power of Surrender cards you received, surrender your outdated beliefs about yourself. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past, then you can own your power and soar in your life, almost like this autumn tree letting go of its old leaves, becoming anew. Some symbolism of rebirth there. Interesting. Excuse me, my voice is a bit scratchy. And then from the Ask Your Guides Oracle, you received Purpose from Teacher Guides number 27. Purpose. Yeah, she's got her eyes closed too, dang it. A lot about eyes closed. Interesting. Purpose. And let's reveal your tarot cards here. I'm going to have a little bit more room. There we go. From the Wild Reflections Tarot, first up we got the Queen of Cups reversed. Something about maybe feeling insecure, something about emotions inside that are a bit tumultuous or chaotic, not sure how to feel about something. Interesting. We have number 2, the Wheel of Fortune, things turning in our favor. Fate and karma and luck. And then we have the Chariot reversed. Feels like things are out of control. Especially as the central card. Okay, a bit of a picture forming here. Number 4, we have the Six of Wands. Victory, beautiful. Especially as the near future. And number 5, we have the Two of Pentacles, which is all about balance. So let me look over your cards here. I'm also going to just take a drink really quick. Pile number 3 is to help my voice out a bit. It's a bit scratchy, like I said, so I apologize for that, and just for a little spot of silence here. Excuse me. So, your message today, pile number 3. So let's see. From your spirit guides. Especially that Chariot reversed is interesting as a central energy. Oh, okay, it clicked. Sorry. It took a second. They want to talk to you about a doubt you have about yourself, pile number 3s. That's kind of the summary of everything I'm seeing here today. You know, you have a lot of cards about like your purpose and surrendering outdated beliefs about yourself and clarity, right? And especially with the Queen of Cups reversed being the beginning or like the inciting incident card. Yeah, I feel like you've been feeling insecure about something lately. You've been feeling like you don't believe in yourself. And I'm trying to glean why that is. You know, it's almost like something turned in your favor in the recent past with the Wheel of Fortune, which I know sounds silly because you're like, okay, well, how would something turning in my favor make me feel insecure? But it's like you reach success with something like a little too fast, or like something's happening too fast. Like you're like, well, where did this come from? And it's like you're trying to physically keep up with it, but like emotionally you haven't caught up yet to this success or whatever this is that would make you believe in yourself more. Does that kind of make sense, pile number 3s? You know, especially too with the Chariot reversed as the central card. That's the card reversed, at least, is about like, you feel like things are out of control. It's like this guy is, you know, he has the reins in his hand, but reversed, it's all about like chaos. And you're like, okay, well, wait, what's going on? This is going too fast. How am I going to handle this? You know, as a tangible example, though it might not apply to everybody as this is a general reading, but just to kind of give you a glimpse of what I'm talking about from like a literal perspective. You know, it's almost like maybe you, let's say you have a business where you take orders for something and you didn't expect it to really take off. Maybe you just started something and then all of a sudden, boom, you had this turn of good luck with the Wheel of Fortune. And now all of a sudden you have way more orders than you can absolutely handle. And you're like, whoa, this is chaotic and I feel insecure. Can I handle this? Like I said, not everybody is going to relate to that particular example, but that's just a metaphor, or at least a tangible example of what I'm talking about. Of, yeah, like insecure, not sure this is going to work. Boom, turn of good luck. And then wait a minute, this is chaotic. I'm not sure I can handle this good luck that came my way. And if that's not even like, if you haven't really got to that point yet, pile number 3s, though I think you have, since these are kind of like, especially the Wheel of Fortune is the near past card. That's going to be happening soon. So if you've been looking for luck in something that you've been kind of insecure about, seems like that's coming your way, but just be warned that there might be a little bit of more forward quick momentum than you're expecting here with that Chariot reversed to like, oh god, everything's chaotic all of a sudden. But what they're saying, pile number 3s, and the really, really good news beyond, hey, like a good turn of luck here, right, in the near past, or at least maybe towards the present, is that you have the 6 of Wands as the near future card, which is beautiful because the 6 of Wands is all about victory, being victorious, winning at something. And so whatever you're worried about when it comes to this chaotic situation, it's going to turn out just fine, pile number 3s, okay? There's going to be victory in the near future. Yes, it's maybe a little bit chaotic at first. Maybe you're kind of wondering, how am I going to get the reins under control? But rest easy, take a deep breath. Things are going to be just fine. And the beautiful thing about it is the outcome card for the 2 of Pentacles. That's the card of balance, of being able to juggle things. So whatever it is that you fear you can't juggle right now, even if things seem a little bit chaotic, things are going to slow down and you're going to be just fine. You're going to be able to juggle all of this. It's going to be not quite as much of a burden on you as it has been. So that's beautiful for the outcome. And, you know, I think maybe what's been dinging your confidence a little bit is because this is related to something that is really associated with your purpose. Also, too, maybe it's been causing a lot of stress, which leads to anxiety, which can sometimes lead to self-esteem and self-confidence related issues, right? Because, sometimes when things happen a little bit too fast for our liking in our lives, our inclination isn't to think right away, hey, anybody would be a little bit stressed out and wondering how the heck am I going to get the reins on this. Sometimes our initial inclination is, oh God, I can't handle this. There must be something wrong with me. And what your spirit guides are saying is, no, there's nothing wrong with you. It's very, very normal to be overwhelmed with whatever's going on, pile number 3. So just take a deep breath. It's going to be fine. There's no flaw with you in this situation, okay? They're even telling you here, I think, with purpose, this is your purpose. This is something you're meant for, whatever it is. And, especially with surrender outdated beliefs about yourself, it says, let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past, then you can own your power and soar in life. So part of this journey of what's going on here, of getting a handle on the chaos, is remembering, hey, your spirit guide said to you, pile number 3, is right now, there's an outdated belief about yourself that you need to let go about this situation. Maybe it's the belief of, I'm not good enough for this, or I'm an imposter. Maybe there's some imposter syndrome. I bring that up on my channel a lot. Maybe there's a belief of, oh God, I can't handle this, or oh God, this is too much. Oh God, I'm not good enough. Whatever, frankly, garbage belief you have about yourself that's not constructive or helpful, right? Pile number 3 is, they're saying to let it go, surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. And also because, and like I was saying, there's a lot of cards here of people with their eyes closed or like sleeping. Even too with the imagery of the autumn tree here and surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. When you really think about it, autumn is the season of the year when the earth starts to kind of go back to sleep into winter, right? They're telling you to rest. Especially if you've been stressed out, pile number 3, restore and replenish. Maybe that's even why you were drawn to this card, because you're like, oh God, I'm so stressed out right now. Oh no. I'm also being told something about tea. I don't know if maybe drinking tea would be helpful. Personally, I recommend, what is it called? Oh, what is that tea called? Is it kava? I believe it's kava. Correct me if I'm wrong, or I'll put like a little text here on the video. I think it's kava tea. That is also great for like calming anxiety. I personally recommend it. Also just calming tea in general. Maybe like a good cup of lavender or chamomile, something like that with some honey. Specifically, I heard that. So yeah, drink some tea, pile number 3. But in general, restore and replenish. Sleep. Rest. You even have closed eyes in your spirit guide card here. It's okay. It's going to be just fine. The only hurdle right now is you standing in your own path, telling yourself, I can't do this. And yes, I know sometimes when you're in the thick of it, in chaos, you're like, oh God, this sucks. Oh God, I can't handle it. I've been there myself 100 times. I 100% understand pile number 3s. But like I said, the only thing standing in your path right now is your lack of belief in yourself to handle this. Because remember that outcome, right after victory, you're going to be able to juggle things just fine. Okay? Things are going to be just fine. So hopefully that is a very calming, peaceful message. Maybe that helps you calm a little bit hearing this. You're like, oh, okay. Ooh, deep breath. It's going to be fine. Okay. I do want to ask some extra questions for you, though, pile number 3s, because your message was pretty straightforward. And I did ask other questions for other piles, and I want to make sure each pile gets equal attention today. So let me shuffle my cards back here and think of a pertinent question to ask for you. Yeah. Also, I'm hearing something about making sure that you're hydrated. I don't know if you tend to be dehydrated a lot, pile number 3s. But there's something about hydration or water. Maybe even baths, taking soothing baths, making sure you're getting enough water. Just general, tangible, physical self-care things would be very good for you right now, I'm being told. So pay attention to that in your bodily health, pile number 3s. Let's see, what question do I want to ask for you? Spirit guides, can you tell me a little bit more about where the success, the 6 of Wands victory is leading? Like, what's at the end of this path for pile number 3s? What good is going to come of where they're going? Because I think that would also maybe help them get through this time, is kind of knowing, like, well, hey, what's the benefit of where this is going, right? For you cards, okay, 4 of Pentacles, restoring and reserving your energy. Withholding energy, interesting. Being able to save up money sometimes can be an interpretation of the Four of Pentacles. Oh, there goes my pencil. Okay, and then we have the High Priestess, listening intuitively to ourselves, paying attention to our intuition. Okay. And the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, so Page of Pentacles is exploring material security, material wealth, learning something new in the material or the career world, right? So pile number 3 is, this is a very, very, very good outcome. Like I said, I asked, where is this going that's good for pile number 3? So you have 2 Pentacles cards, right? So financial success with something, especially with the Four of Pentacles, that tells me a lot about being able to reserve energy or reserve resources. Reserve maybe even means saving up money. Okay, that's one interpretation of Four of Pentacles. So if you've been having issues with saving up money lately, you know, maybe this is something that will give you a bit of a boost and help you put some money away for a rainy day. Okay, a little bit of a cushion is always good for us to have, right? Same thing too with the Page of Pentacles, exploring the material world. I don't know if it's also kind of leading to some more education regarding your career or whatever this is, or it's like a new phase of learning in terms of career or financial success, something that you haven't really done before, because the pages are like the apprentices of their suit. They're new to their suit. They're just starting out, and so it's like a new phase in terms of the material world for you. So if you really have not really had a lot of financial security in your life so far, this is a really good sign that this is leading you to that new path or that new phase or stage of your life, right, where things are a little bit more balanced. That can even be one interpretation too of the outcome, as the Two of Pentacles here is balance in finances, especially because it's like juggling. Like she's holding the pentacles up, which literally are kind of symbolic of material wealth in tarot. And then the High Priestess, too, is also a great card because it's about intuition and listening to ourselves. You know, I think it also is a path that will lead to a lot more confidence inspired in listening to yourself, listening to your intuition. Maybe right now, because of some self-confidence related issues, like, you know, we were saying, surrendering outdated beliefs about yourself, pile number 3 is. Maybe you don't listen to yourself so much right now, but this victory is going to be something that will help give you like a firm rock to stand on regarding your confidence and your ability to do these things, to achieve in this area of your life. And so that leads to increased intuition, increased listening to yourself more with that High Priestess energy. So it's a good encouragement of more connection with yourself as an outcome to this, on top of the nice financial things, right? Because that's always good to hear. Is, yeah, reserving money, exploring things regarding career or finances, okay? That's where this path is leading. I also want to ask final advice for you, pile number 3, because I asked that for every other pile today, and I like to end the reading off with just kind of like a final, here's some tools for you to consider, some pieces of advice from your spirit team as you, or well, I should say before you leave the reading. So let me just shuffle my cards right now. Spirit guides, collectively for pile number 3s, could you give me 3 cards or so, like as final pieces of advice for them regarding this whole situation? Thank you. Or around 3 cards, I should say. Well, there we go. We have 1, the 5 of Wands. Okay. Sometimes can mean a healthy battle of egos. Playful battle, more so. Interesting. Get some more context with the other 2 cards. We have the World, okay, bringing something to a close. So remember I was saying, like, I feel like this is a new stage in your life regarding finances. The World is about the ending of a certain phase of your life, or like the curtain close on something. So that's interesting. And then last but not least, we have the Magician reversed. Magician reversed is needing to gather your resources more to manifest things. So as final pieces of advice here in the situation, pile 3s. There's something here about healthy competition with the 5 of Wands, which is interesting because normally, you know, I see the 5 of Wands, or people see the 5 of Wands and they see it as a battle card, and it gets kind of an icky feeling. But unlike the 5 of Swords, which is like, I feel like tends to be the more harsh battle, the 5 of Wands is more playful to me. The 5 of Wands is more about a battle of willpower or a battle of wills. It's more about, you know, because literally, like, these people they're hiding. It's almost like they're playing hide and seek, or it almost kind of makes me think of a maypole, where there's a competition, but it's healthy competition. So it's very interesting as a piece of advice. It's like, look for healthy competition, or look at what, like, if this is like a business related thing, look at what your competitors are doing. Maybe even invite some more people to bring in ideas if there's like a team oriented aspect of whatever is going on. Yeah, it's almost like you're the leader of something. or at least you're trying to help the leader of something out. And their piece of advice for you is to invite people's creative ideas too. Because, yeah, that's another interpretation of wands is the creative suit. Invite creativity. Invite... I keep hearing competition for some reason. I don't know if, like, inviting people to a competition, like saying, hey, we're going to have a contest for this thing, and, you know, if you do it, you'll win this prize, or maybe that's part of it too, is, like, encouraging you to enter a competition of some sort. So I know that's a little vague, and that might be a little bit different to everybody as to how it applies, since this is a general reading, but yeah, there's something about competition or contest here they're saying to go for, or to invite, especially with creativity here with the Five of Wands. So that's piece of advice number 1. Number 2 is the World, which is the curtain close. It's the closing of a phase of your life. Really focus on what threads you can tie up now before you go forward into this new adventure pile. Number 3 is maybe even that's where some of the chaos has been coming from, is you really struggling to kind of tie everything off before you go somewhere else or enter this new phase. Maybe like you've been leaving a job, or maybe you've been, you know, moving to a new place, something like that. There's some sort of finality to it. And they're saying really, really pay attention to tying off those lasting strings or those lasting threads before you move on. Think about, okay, how do I make this the perfect curtain close I can to the production I just put on, you know, metaphorically speaking, okay? Or maybe literally it's you're in theater and you put on a production, I don't know. Something like that, yeah. And then last but not least, we have the Magician reversed, and the Magician reversed is all about needing to pull your gather materials or like resources more before you embark on something, or before you can manifest something, okay? So there's a little bit more of a lull here before you get to that victory with the Six of Wands. They're saying part of your advice is to, you know, to move away from that chaos to help handle things a little bit better. Really think about what resources you can pool, what resources you can gather, right? To manifest the thing that victory that you're looking for, that reigning in of the chaos, okay? And especially to being next to the World is almost like gathering materials before you do that curtain close. So maybe there's something still to be gained about where you're at from, like, before where you're moving to is. And so it's good for you to try to harvest as much as you can. And once again, we have the theme of autumn here, like I just said, harvest, okay? Harvest as much as you can from this phase before you move into the next, okay? There's still something to be gained where you're at right now, even though it seems like wherever you're going is better, pile number 3, okay? So that is what I will leave you with today. If you take anything from this reading as just a general summary, take a deep breath, take care of yourself, focus on some self-care. Everything is going to be just fine, and the chaos will come to an end, okay? So, like I said, if you leave the reading with anything, leave it with that thought in mind, all right? That's really being emphasized here, that your spirit guides are saying, it's okay, it's going to be fine. Bit of a bumpy ride right now, but things are going to be great after the bumpy ride is done. And it's going to lead to more balance in your life and victory. So yes, I hope that reading was helpful for you, pile number 2s. As always, if it resonated with you, if you liked the reading, please like, comment, and or subscribe. If you've not subscribed already, helps the channel out, helps me out, helps me create more readings for you and everybody else that views. And I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading, pile number 3s, okay? Bye.